Today marks a week since the shooting at Richneck Elementary in Newport News. Police say a 6-year-old boy intentionally shot his teacher.
And we've been following this case since day one. Here are some of the biggest developments in the days since. Tonight, we learned Richneck Elementary is under new leadership. A division spokesperson tells us the school's extended learning supervisor is now taking over some of the responsibilities of principal.
Classes at Richneck have been canceled again next week. Still, there's no set return date for students and staff. We've also learned the 6-year-old boy arrived late to school on the day of the shooting. He had his backpack searched after the school got a tip he may have had a weapon, but nothing was found.
Now, school leaders are stepping up security across the division. They've secured funding for 90 new metal detectors. Once they're installed, every student, teacher, and staff member will have to walk through them every day. The teacher who was shot, 25-year-old Abby Zwerner, is still recovering tonight. We're told she's getting better every day.
And there are still many questions about what will happen to the child. Police Chief Steve Drew sat down for an interview with ABC News. Sarah Hammond shares what he had to say about the case. New at 11.
In the days following the shooting, we've been learning more about what led up to the boy pulling the trigger and what happens next. But two things Police Chief Steve Drew has maintained through it all is that it was not an accident, and 25-year-old Abby Zwerner is a hero.
Chief Drew says when he was first notified, he thought there was an active shooter. It was only when he arrived at the school he learned the suspect was just 6 years old.
I just can't comprehend that. I don't know that I ever want to be able to comprehend that.
Drew maintains there was no fight or argument before the boy fired his mother's 9mm handgun. Drew recounts how even after she was shot, Zwerner's mind was only on her students.
Makes several steps down the hall, and then she stops and she turns around. She turns around and looks back to make sure that all of her students are safe.
From the beginning, Drew has repeatedly said this was not an accidental shooting. Expanding on that, he says they know based on statements from the boy and his mother.
Shocking is a great word.
He says once investigators look through school records of any past behavioral issues with the student, determine if there was any history with Child Protective Services, and interview the children who were in the classroom, that will all paint a better picture of what happened.
I don't know that I ever thought we'd be investigating or interviewing first graders.
Drew says while there are still questions as to what will happen to the 6-year-old, he knows one thing for certain.
I think that she is a hero. I will tell you this, I know she is a hero.
Chief Drew says the boy is currently under an emergency detention order. The child will soon stand before a judge to determine if that detention order should be extended or if the boy will be placed somewhere. Sarah Hammond, 13 News Now.
Congressman Bobby Scott wants to get experts together to come up with recommendations after the Richneck Elementary shooting. He's holding a roundtable discussion next week on school safety. The panel will include educators, gun violence experts, and mental health professionals. That's Tuesday morning at 11 at the Downing Gross Cultural Arts Center.